Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Arlington Weekly News. I'm Craig Nolan. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Daniel Pineda.
My name's Adele Quo.
And here we go with another show. Our first show in June? No, our second
I think it's
show
our
in
second.
June.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I
Welcome
missed a
back,
couple of weeks.
Craig.
Welcome back, Craig. Yeah.
I missed a couple
After
of
a
weeks.
month, yeah.
I missed a couple of weeks, and well, it's great to be back, and thanks to all of you for watching. And our usual lineup of stuff here, our news and community bulletin board.
CBB.
A little rusty.
Wow.
Segments. Adele is here with
It's easy being green.
We still have that one down.
We still have it
News
down
and
somehow,
CBB.
somehow.
Nort Beckerman and a Brain Healthy Minute. Is that right? Nort is here with a Brain Healthy Minute. Our News for Seniors segment. And then an interview with two Arlington Weekly News stars, Rich Massabny and Don Hammond. And that's our show, but before we go, a social media reminder from my partner.
Absolutely, Craig. You can watch the Arlington Weekly News on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Arlington Weekly News and the number 1. Also, facebook.com/Arlington Weekly News.
All right, gracias, Senor Pineda. Here we go with the first of our news items. Well, an Arlington Public Schools staff member has been arrested for selling marijuana to a teenager and then smoking it with him. The suspect is Zachary Van Dyke, a teaching assistant at Gunston Middle School and a basketball coach at Washington Lee High School. According to police, on Friday, May 27th, the 32-year-old man gave one of his students, a 13-year-old, a ride home. Later, they smoked marijuana together. Van Dyke sold the marijuana to the juvenile and is suspected of selling drugs to other high schoolers. Arlington Public Schools has suspected Van Dyke, who has worked in the system since 2008. If you have any information that can help police with this investigation, give them a call. Here's their number, 703-228-7156, or you can email Sproud, S-P-R-O-U-D, at arlingtonva.us. Daniel.
Greg, another teacher has been up to no good and was recently arrested. Arlington resident Prim Smatsarabud is facing federal charges for fraud. She ran a complex, high-end handbag scheme for years, and according to court documents, Smatsarabud bought high-end bags from department stores online and faked replicas of the same bags from overseas. Then she would return the fakes to the department store in person and sell the real bags online for a profit. Some of the merchandise cost over $2,000 each. The suspect herself made millions of dollars from this operation. The scam affected department stores across 12 different states. Over 570 purses were found in her home during a Homeland Security raid. Smatsarabud, also known as Miss Prim, worked at Beto Montessori School in Fort Washington, Maryland. Craig.
All right, Daniel, also in our news items, Virginia riders on the Orange and Silver lines may have an unpleasant commute for the next couple of weeks. The year-long Metro Safe Track plan to fix chronic problems in the rail system began the first of its 15 safety projects on the 4th of June. The current project will last for nearly 2 weeks and will have the biggest impact on the Orange and Silver lines. Both lines will run on continuous single tracks between Ballston and East Falls Church stations beginning June 16. This means the trains will run about every 18 minutes. In addition, the Metro rail system will close at midnight every night. There's a heads up for you Metro riders. Daniel.
And Craig, Arlington County is offering several options to help people deal with the Metro operation. Arlington is encouraging work, travel options, supplementing the affected areas with art bus service, making temporary street changes as well. Visit Arlington Safe Track for more information. Craig.
And also, if you're skipping the commute and you want to telework but find it inconvenient because you don't have all the resources or peace and quiet that you need, then consider the library. Arlington Public Libraries will offer Wi-Fi, office equipment, design stations with Adobe software, and meeting rooms. You can check out the library's Safe Track resources at library.arlingtonva.us. Daniel.
And Craig, as a result of the metro repair projects, many of us are turning into commuter warriors as we battle with increased road traffic and huge crowds in the metro. Another Arlington resident is a TV warrior. 39-year-old Arlington resident and lawyer Mike Chick is a contestant on NBC's Ninja Warrior. The husband and father of two has been a fan of the show for years. However, a near-death experience convinced him to take action and compete. Chick's heart stopped beating for 30 seconds while visiting a client in jail. He discovered that he had a medical condition that caused him to pass out when his heart stops beating, even for a very short while. And Chick's inspiration to compete comes from another source, his 5-year-old son. His son is already a ninja competitor, Parker aficionado, an all-around athlete. Chick's Atlanta qualifier aired on Wednesday, June the 8th. You can keep up with Chuck using his Instagram handle, The Ninja Lawyer. Craig.
All right, in this item, Arlington Weekly News is saddened to report the passing of Stefan Gilbert, who appeared on the Arlington Weekly News as Stately Wayne Manor back in the mid-1980s. His whimsical, sometimes bizarre commentaries lent a touch of surreal to the regular reporting here on AWN. Mr. Gilbert died of cardiac arrest at his home on June 4. He was 60 years old. And we'll be back with our CBB Community Bulletin Board file right after we hear from Adele Quo and
It's Easy Being Green.
Here's Adele.
Welcome, Arlington, to another It's Easy Being Green driving a hemp car. Almost 75 years ago, August 14th, 1941 to be exact, Henry Ford unveiled his hemp car. 70% of the body of the cream-colored automobile consisted of plant fibers like hemp, and the other 30% consisted of a filler of soy meal and a liquid bioresin. The timing gears, horn buttons, gear shift knobs, door handles, and accelerator pedals were derived from soybeans. The tires were made from goldenrods bred by Ford's close friend Thomas Edison. Astonishingly enough, it was 2.5 times greener than electric cars today. Nearly carbon neutral, how it was made and how it was powered made it the greenest car in history. Well, fast forward this year, the newest green machine to hit the high roads on a cross-country sustainability tour is a shiny fire engine red sports car made from cannabis hemp. Mind-blowing, right? Cannabis with the THC gets you high. The other variety you can use to make a car. They are both members of the cannabis sativa plant species, but cannabis industrial hemp has over 50,000 uses from biofuel, paper, medicine, clothes, fabrics, and more, and was one of the first plants to be spun into usable fiber 10,000 years ago. Pure hemp has a texture similar to linen. So inspired by Ford's 1941 hemp car, Bruce Dietzen left the corporate world 16 years ago, moved to Key West, Florida, and revved up to create Renew sports cars. And if we take a look at Joe Tree Frog, our mascot, and his Lamborghini as a little prototype here, Renew is seeking to create a 100% carbon neutral, non-polluting, and environmentally friendly sports car made from hemp and designed to run on biofuels. Dietzen spent $200,000 to build a sporty cannabis car, kind of like this prototype over here, from the reused chassis of a Mazda convertible. The body of the car uses about 100 pounds of woven cannabis hemp, a less potent cousin of marijuana, while the engine runs on biobutanol, a fuel made from recycled agricultural waste. In case people question its crash-worthiness, you can watch Bruce pound hard on the hood a few times on an online video. The industrial hemp body is surprisingly strong and estimated to be at least 10 times more dent-resistant than steel. So custom orders for this fantastic cannabis car will start about $42,000. You can check out the Cannabis Hemp Car website shown on the screen. And remember, it's easy being green, driving a hemp car. Beep, beep. Just had to say that. Yeah, it looks like fun.
The Lamborghini.
I like that.
Very nice.
Or the canna car, as they're calling it.
The canna car. Excellent. Thanks, Adele.
Thank you, Adele.
We appreciate your Easy Being Green segments, as always. All right, well, here we go now with our CBB, or Community Bulletin Board file. The rail system isn't the only infrastructure about to see a major overhaul. The road systems, well, they're coming up with some changes too. The northern end of the George Washington Memorial Parkway between the Capitol Beltway and Spout Run may close down for construction purposes. The National Park Service wants to rehabilitate the 8 miles on the aging roadway in the near future. You can learn more about the proposal and share your thoughts on it at a public open forum. The event will be held Wednesday, June 15 at Turkey Run Park. That's located at 700 George Washington Memorial Parkway in McLean. It'll start about 5:30, run until 7:30. You can also provide written comments online up through July 8th via the project website, which should be on your screen there. You can visit for more information on the meeting. You can get more details. You can visit their website and provide comments, so they say. Daniel.
Well, Craig, Arlington is hosting a Quidditch competition this weekend. And if you don't know what a Quidditch competition is, then ask anyone who is a fan of a series of novels about a half-blood wizard with a lightning bolt-shaped star across his forehead. The Washington Admirals, the D.C. area's local Quidditch team, will play the Ottawa Black Bears. That's on Saturday, June the 11th at Tuckahoe Park at 2400 North Skymore Street. Tickets are free, yes, free, Craig, and all ages are encouraged to attend. Visit the website shown on your screen to learn more. Seems like a fun competition.
FRW free. All right, thanks, Daniel. Also in our CBB file, well, there will be a county board Democratic primary coming up on June 14. Well, it's too late to register, but if you are registered, be sure to check where your polling place is, where it's located, before you head to the polls. The candidates are Eric Gutschall, a home improvement contractor and Arlington Planning Commissioner member. They will face off against County Board incumbent Libby Garvey. For more voting information, visit the website shown on your screen, and that should help you out. Daniel.
Well, Craig, the D.C. region's biggest cycling race is coming back to Arlington this June. The Air Force Association Cycling Classic will take place this weekend of June the 11th and 12th near the Pentagon, Crystal City, and the Air Force Memorial. The Challenge Ride is an amateur, non-competitive, participatory ride open to cyclists of all abilities. All participants will start and end in Crystal City. The ride will be held on closed 15-kilometer circuit in and around Pentagon, Crystal City, and the Air Force Memorial. Visit the website shown on your screen for more information on the race, and good luck if you're racing and to those of you volunteering or watching the race. Just have fun, Craig.
Have fun out there. Always fun on a bike, right? We'll be back with our News for Seniors segment right after we hear from Nort Beckerman and his Brain Healthy Minute. Here's Nort.
Hi, I'm Nort Beckerman, author of A User's Guide to a Healthy Brain.
Quidditch.
There's a good chance that your brain isn't what you thought it was. For centuries, we believed that our brain is a passive receiver and distributor of information, that our brain is a fixed genetic inheritance, and that we had to make the best of what we inherited. It was believed that our brain only made experience-dependent brain cells until our early 20s. Experience-dependent brain cells are essential for memory and learning. Memory and learning are key to expanding our cognitive skills and abilities. To make matters worse, it was believed that by our early 30s, our cognitive abilities were in decline. We believed that cognitive decline was inevitable, and we were lucky if we escaped dementia. These beliefs determined who we were, what we did, and how we did it. It promoted a culture that looked down on its older population. The older population bought into it. By buying into it, they relied more and more heavily on the medical community to solve the cognitive problems of aging. Well, you'll be happy to know that there are very few, if any, cognitive problems due to aging. In the late 90s, it was proven that we can continue to generate experience-dependent brain cells throughout life, and that our brain is not a passive receiver and distributor of information, but a receiver and active user of information. Our brain is not simply a fixed genetic inheritance that we have to make the best of. Oh, genetics get us started. But the internal structure of our brain is constantly changing in response to what we do and don't do. We can continue to expand our cognitive abilities as we age. Why then do we have cognitive problems as we age? The answer to that is in the realization that our brain is a living structure, and its performance depends on how well it's been maintained, how healthy it is. Unfortunately, past beliefs have caused us to take our brain for granted. We don't realize that our brain has needs that have to be met to keep it healthy and functioning effectively. As a result, most of us go through life with a brain that gets less and less healthy. We blame it on age, but it's not age. It's the health and physical ability of the brain to function effectively. Regardless of how educated you are, if your brain is not as healthy as it once was, it won't perform as well as it once did. Fortunately, your brain is resilient. It can regain its health and functioning effectiveness at any age. But there is no silver bullet. Maintaining a healthy brain describes a lifestyle. For example, continuing to learn new things is critical to brain health. Memory and learning require experience-dependent brain cells. But to generate experience-dependent brain cells, you need to be physically active. It's tissue and cells that make up the physical structure of your brain. To keep them healthy and functioning effectively, you need to stay properly hydrated, eat the right foods, and get a good night's sleep. I'm Nort Beckerman. I'll see you next time for a Brain Healthy Moment.
All right, on to our senior stories.
All right, there we go. Thanks, Nort, our very own Nort Beckerman and his Brain Healthy Minute. Here we go. As promised now, our News for Seniors segment, where we're all concerned about fats, good fats and bad fats, and you can get the facts on good fats versus bad fats. Some are good for you, some are necessary in our diets, others not so much. Rebecca Reynolds, who's a nurse practitioner, will talk on which fats are which. And that's coming up Friday, June 10 at 11 a.m. till noon at Arlington Mills Senior Center. For more information, you can give them a call at 703-228-6300, and they'll tell you all about it. Daniel.
And Craig, what does depression and anxiety look like? How can we help a friend or family member that may be suffering with it? Join senior adult specialist Nancy Connors in a talk about depression and anxiety. That's on Friday, June the 10th. The program runs from 11 a.m. to noon at Culpeper Garden Senior Center. She will cover the signs and symptoms along with how to get help. Give them a call at 703-228-4403 to find out more and to reserve your seat. Craig.
All right, Daniel, and also in our News for Seniors file, are you tired of eating the same old breakfast? You can join Virginia Cooperative Extension agent and registered dietitian, Katie Strong, or a knowledgeable volunteer as they uncover new breakfast ideas to start a delicious, healthy day. That's coming up Monday, June 13, 11 to noon at Langston Brown. Give them a call and they'll tell you all about it. One more? Are we done? Okay, that's it. News for Seniors is over. We'll be back with a quick bye-bye if we have time, right after our good friend Rich Massabny and his guest. Here's Rich.
Hi, I'm Rich Massabny. You probably know I'm a regular cast member here doing reviews and interviews. And this perhaps is a great interview for me because I'm talking to the guy who hired me maybe about 30 years ago, and he's been the executive producer of the Arlington Weekly News, Don Hammond. How many years has it been, Don?
Well, I would say 81. You do the subtraction. 34 years, is it?
Something like that.
Yeah, right.
You know, I dare say, knowing something about television around town and all, whether the commercial stations or access as we are, you have probably been around this longer than anybody,
Yeah,
right?
I imagine so.
Yeah.
Until someone else claims better.
That's right. That's right. I'm curious. How did you get started, and why did you get started in doing? Was it always the Arlington Weekly News, or was it something else in there?
Well, when we first started out in '81, we got our show and the news in Spanish
Oh,
were taped together.
oh,
And PAC TV was the organization, just a citizens organization
yeah, yeah.
that promoted public access. Originated two of those shows. We taped them both on the same night with the same technical crew
Really?
and so on, right? And we did that for until we got into the 3-camera
Yeah.
situation over in George Mason Metro Campus.
Yeah, yeah. And then we moved into this building here. How many years ago would we guess?
Well, that's been about 15, 16
that
years
long,
ago.
Yeah, that long. We don't really know exactly how many people are watching our shows. We're on channel 69, Comcast 69, and also Fios, Verizon, channel 38. And we're on Thursday nights at 6 o'clock, and we're repeated Saturday morning at 10:30, and then the next Monday night at 8:30 p.m.
Sometimes I understand they show us at 3 in the morning, too.
That's what I understand. Yeah, that's what I understand. I haven't seen it, but it probably is the case. You know, they have something to fill in. What does it take, Don, in these times, to produce a show? I have a pretty good idea, being around you and around the crew and all that. But you've got a crew that's been working with you and us for some time.
Yeah,
Sometime.
that's correct. Well, that's what we rely on, don't we?
Yes, yes, yes.
We couldn't do it without the help of a dozen other people who you don't see on camera generally.
And there's so many talented people. For example, behind camera right now, taking a picture of us, is Bill Calder. He's been with CBS and all that, so he's an experienced guy. And then there's, I can't name them all, but there's Hef Munson.
Right.
He's directed the show sometime around here, and
Right.
I know there's a lot of talent.
Yeah.
Because I had a little stint on, not for long, a few months on Channel 9, and be honest with you, I mean, I don't know what they showed that's so greater than what we do.
Right.
You know, this is what changes have you seen over the years? You know.
Well, on the technical side,
Yeah.
we started out originally with 3/4 inch, they called it U-matic tape,
Okay.
which I think it was generally used by industry mainly.
Uh-huh.
Back in 1981, there weren't any tape machines were just coming into being. Remember beta tape?
Sure. Sure.
Those were just coming into being at those times. So then we switched, when we came into this studio, we switched to what they call beta, beta SP.
Oh, okay.
It was a 1/2 inch tape. And then about, I don't know exactly, we went to mini DV tape.
Oh,
These are all tapes that people could use on their home
yeah.
cameras. And then just a couple of years ago, we went tapeless.
Yeah.
So we got a machine to record on now, something other than tape.
You know, really, a lot of talented people who work on this show. I mean, you know, they got, all of them have some background, you know, and then they bring that experience to here to the access station, and I'm very funny about this. We don't have much time, but I'm very funny about this. I feel that access, which gives opportunity for the irregular person to possibly come on the show, you know. But the talent is the camera guys, everybody else, you, all of them, the guys in the control room there, Jay and others, and Cam, are so talented that they could very easily be doing the same thing at a network television station.
Yeah, imagine
know.
so, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I've known many of those people. So anyway, I want to thank you very much, Don, for being the executive producer, and I wish you'd do another 30 or 300 years, you know. Right?
Well, I'll probably be rolling over in whatever they say by then.
Well, I want to thank Don Hammond very much for taking the time out to talk to us about the show. So I want to say goodbye. Thank you, Don, very much. This is Rich Massabny.
Nice. All right. Our intrepid man about town, Rich Massabny, sorry, Rich, and talking to our venerable producer, Don Hammond. Nice to see those two guys on camera again. That's great. Thanks to both of you. And thanks to all of you for watching this edition of the Arlington Weekly News. We made it through another one.
Yeah.
Anything else to add before we go, ladies and gentlemen?
Should be a nice week. I mean, the weather's going to be nice this week.
Enjoy the weather.
Enjoy it, yeah.
Enjoy another edition of the Arlington Weekly News next week. If you're there, we'll be here and we'll try it all again. Have a safe week. Bye-bye.